We're gonna do a song that you never heard before. The volume.
Here they come and get wicked. Here we go again.
Hey, what's going on? It's Friday, so you know what that means. It's another edition of Them Boys, the Slash Brothers podcast in the building. Make some noise.
Hey, it's Kennedy, my brother from another mother. What's happening?
Good with you, Charlie?
Oh, man. I'm doing good, man. Doing good. This is a good week. Very good week.
Man, a very busy week for your boy.
What's been good with you?
Oh, you know, running back and forth to the hospital. So,
Okay.
And then, of course, taking care of kids and all of that jazz. But here we are.
Hey, man. Well, listen, we got some things to get into. Let's get that music going.
Yes, sir.
All right.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
Yep.
Try Jesus, not me, 'cause I throw hands. Try Jesus, please don't try me, because I find.
Hey, it's Kennedy.
What's up?
It's been a long week. Been a fast week as well. Best thing you've seen all week?
Best thing I seen all week was Deuce's face coming out of that massage.
Oh, he got the massage done.
Yeah, he got the massage today, bro.
Yeah.
It was funny because one of the masseuse that did him, she was like, "Yeah, I do NBA players or whatever." She said, "I did Russell Westbrook when he was here." So she was like, "Yo, you got to bring him back because that boy's super tight." That boy Deuce's face was like,
Oh man, that's all good though, bro. Yeah, that's all good, man.
he enjoyed it though. He
Good.
enjoyed it. It was dope.
So you put him on to the pedicures already.
Put him on to the pedicures.
He loved that.
Yes, sir.
Going to the massages now.
Oh yeah, he like, yo, I figured the first thing he was gonna do was call Tari, and he was on the phone with somebody when he got out, and so yeah, he's excited though.
Hey, before you know it, he gonna be getting couples massages, man. He gonna make dates out of it, man.
He was like talking about some. He was like, yeah, man, she was pulling all kind of knots out. I didn't even know I had this, that, and the other. I was like, I tried to tell you, bro, it's a whole different ball game.
Yeah, because the massage gun is dope. But it ain't gonna get up in them tissues, not like somebody who doing that Swedish or deep tissue though, bro. So that's dope, man.
Yeah. Because he been having some lower back issues. He fell when we was in Fort Worth, and my mom gave him like some back patches, some stuff like that. And so I was like, yeah, I got to get him a massage. And so yeah, and then we were supposed to do like the joint massage because I was like, I ain't want to leave him there by himself on the first time. Plus, your boy was trying to get on that massage.
Yeah,
they had some scheduling issues, so I was like, nah, I'm gonna let him get his, you know, because he needed to have it because they play the All-Star game tomorrow. So I was like, let him get it. So,
what kind of All-Star game is this?
For high school. So, yeah.
This is the.
It's
game.
No. It's still not the game. The game is in July. That's the one in July is the all-state game. This one is just the all-stars of, like, he was named, you know, he got named to the first team or whatever for his, you know, by the coaches, and then he got the all-state joint too. So yeah, it's two different things.
Okay. That's fire.
Yeah.
Man, I think that you know what's crazy, man? I think that this week has been one of them steady weeks where I haven't really had very, very, very many highs and not any lows. So I think that the best thing that I've seen this week, though, man, probably when I started to look into some of the activities that we'll be doing. My wife's birthday is coming on up here in a couple of weeks, heading out to Tulum, Mexico, though, man. And I think it's really starting to settle in more and more because we're going out of town, going out of country for, you know, a number of days, man. And so long trip, lots of stuff to do, though, man. But when I actually started to look into the things, though, man, some of the spots that we checking out, I was like, yeah, it's popping like that, though.
So you basically getting excited. That's what you're saying.
I'm getting excited, though, man. I think that more than that, though, man, I think that what I'm enjoying is her excitement for it, because I mean, this was basically what I like, you know, like last year I was supposed to be doing some fly stuff like that. COVID shut it down and everything like that, though, man. And so I'm glad that that I'm seeing the excitement from her that I was expecting to have for myself, though. So yeah. So I'm excited too, though, man.
Nah, that's dope, man. I'm excited for y'all, man. The boy Justin just came back. He was
in Destin.
Yeah, he was out there at the time. So now
Destin is dope. Destin. So the one thing that I love about Destin's beaches, real dope. Very clear water, sugary white sand. I mean, it's dope. It's real laid back, real chill. I think that it's almost like a grown version of Panama City Beach now. I remember back in the day, PCB used to be like the spring break hub. And it's now kind of been converted to more of a family vibe. But Destin is very much a chill spot, though.
See, that's my thing. That's me and Sarah's spot is PCB. You know what I'm saying? That's where when we were dating, we went out there, bro. Like, we scraped up every penny we had and went on out there, bro. And it was super dope. First time I saw the Notebook, and it was raining outside, bro. So yeah, it was crazy. It was super dope. Yeah.
PCB is dope. I mean, PCB has changed a whole lot, though, man. I mean, they definitely made it more like family inclusive, man. Because back in the day, like I remember looking at the old picture, man, when the homie Chad used to live out there, man, and we would go out there, and it was at club. I think it was Davila or something like that, though, man. But dope spot. The funny thing that I always trip out on, right, that I remember, we always talk about, you know, when it comes to these versus battles and everything like that, man. And I think one of the things that's real dope when it comes to, we talk about with Chris Brown, like, does Chris Brown have any of that music that you just kind of remember, you know what I'm saying, what you was doing at that particular time? The same way how you and I, we can play certain R. Kelly songs and we know exactly what we was doing when these R. Kelly songs was playing. So I remember when we was out at PCB the first time. So my boy Chad is out there. He had just got stationed on out there. And I think this may have been one of the first times I had ever gone to any beach. No, I take that back, because I did go to the Kappa Beach party. But actually get in the beach water anyway. Probably was that time. So we slide on out there, and one of the things that I remember was that we were there. Me and Neek, we had a little, you know, beach tent, and the whole time we out there, though, we blasting the Usher. I think it was the 8701 album, and we had it on repeat. Almost like the whole time we was chilling out on the beach. It was real fire, though, man. So definitely love PC Beach. We now fast forward. We used to go out there every summer. We did that for like maybe 3 years in a row. And so now we started to try to expand on now. So then we went out to Hilton Head Island. We went out to Amelia Island, not too far from Jacksonville. I'm planning to finally try Myrtle Beach out this time around, though, man. So, but definitely. I saw him out there in Destin, though, man, and I was just like, yeah. So, listen, real quick, shout out to the homeboy Jay as well. You got it. It was La Vila. I'm talking about Da Vila. It was La Vila. Shout out to Brittany Rowe. You're absolutely right. Got to get some, got to get some new music popping. More than that, though, I think we finally
hold up. We ain't doing no new music until she send us the track that we did at the big studio when she was out here. I still ain't heard that song yet, bro.
Oh yeah, listen. By the time you get that done, me and Britt been hooked on up and did a whole new set of songs, up, bro.
Right.
But listen, Annette. So this is funny. Listen, I'm looking at Annette, and then shout out to Annette as well for checking in the comments. She said, "Now you can skip Myrtle Beach." And this is kind of surprising because Myrtle Beach is probably one of the only local beaches for me within driving distance anyway that I haven't checked out. And I've been skipping it because I don't know, man. I thought at first, people go there for bike week and everything, right? Black bike weeks and everything. So I was like, all right, you know what, man? I'm trying to take the whole fam out there, man. And so, but then I see people, post, pictures and comments and everything. I'm like, okay, Myrtle Beach looks like it's all right there, man. So I don't know, man.
Well, the crazy thing is, so our 10 year is next year. And so we were like, yo, we got to do another Florida trip. So then next thing I know, I found out my aunt got like a timeshare. So we're supposed to take everybody out there. So they going to have the kids and we going to break and chill out. So yeah, we trying to do next year.
Now you got to make, so this is the thing. I think that this year was very different for us because we had one of those kind of milestones years. We hit 15, bro, and it's also the year of her 40th. So it was just like, I'm like, listen, we doing it pretty big. So I'm like, I wasn't trying to do it extra big 2 times. I'm like, let me just get it right one big time and some small little gems in between that, though, bro. So, but yeah, man. But the interesting thing, though, man, is that there are a couple things that I wouldn't mind trying to do, like Florida. I wouldn't mind trying to slide out to Key West. If I did Key West, I'd want to go just to the Keys. I don't want to go nowhere else. I've done Cocoa Beach. Shout out to the boy Jay. I've done Cocoa Beach as well. I actually did Cocoa Beach when we went out to Universal Studios. We went out. I was telling the homie Rocky about this because he's getting ready to head out to Universal. We went out to Universal Studios for like 2 days and then went to Cocoa Beach for 2 days and then slid back. And it was dope. But enjoy that as well, though. And Brittany, I'm looking in the comments as well. I thought Virginia Beach was dope until I just saw like last month they were shooting out there. Somebody died out there at the VA beach. And I was like, I don't know. But my brother's out in that area and he told me that it was pretty cool, though. So,
yeah.
Hey man, listen. Question for you. This is just in general terms, right? I just want to get your opinion about something. I know that you and I we've talked about, in general terms of Hollywood, and how things are depicted on TV. Like these days when you see like commercials, it's not uncommon to see 2 chicks together. You know what I'm saying? 2 men together. If they were talking about a Zales commercial, you know what I'm saying? Or if you just talk about in general, there's this, there seems to be a push to kind of normalize, at least from TV, that this is a norm as well. I was tripped out, bro, because there's a show on Nickelodeon that Landon watches, Lincoln Loud. Love the show. Love Lincoln Loud. No, Loud House is the name of it. Lincoln Loud is the main guy on there. His boy Clyde has 2 dads, and it's very casually slid it on in there. And the dads kind of flamboyant, you know what I'm saying? They a little bit, little zesty, you know what I'm talking about? But it's Pride Month though, bro. I guess what I'm wondering is that how far have we come for gay inclusion, gay pride? It's like maybe I'm not as in the know or as oblivious, you know what I'm saying? But it could be. But do you think that American society has come far I know there's always going to be work and opportunity, but come far to normalize normalize the inclusion of how you see that. Like it's Pride Month, right? So I'm just wondering, like, how would you gauge how far we've came?
Man, we've come tremendously far. I mean, you know, in the era we grew up in, people were still very much hidden about their sexuality. And, you know, in 2021, I mean, you got to talk to your kids about everything. And so it's one of those things like, you know, it doesn't bother me with the inclusion of stuff. I think the only like, for instance, I was watching Star Wars, The Rise of Skywalker, and toward the end, they like made it a point to put this one part in where these two women kissed, and it was just like it was so forced because nobody else ever like kissed like that in that particular era. Now, mind you, I've read some Star Wars novels that it was in there, and it was just like it was very tastefully done. Like it wasn't over the top. Like it was just, you know, this person is gay, and that was it. And it was cool. It was cool. Like I don't have an issue with seeing it in movies, with seeing it on TV, nothing like that. You know, I've talked to my concern, like I always tell you, is my kids, like what direction they're going in, because I want to be supportive of them. But I've dealt with people who are gay and lesbian and straight and like every facet, so it don't really bother me. And I look at it too, and I think they probably look at it just like how we look at the inclusion of more ethnic people or minorities in movies or getting mainstream parts and stuff like that. So it's all inclusion.
See, I don't. So that is the one thing that I tend to disagree with when people. I'm not gonna say when it's brought up that gay rights and black rights of minorities. I think that they're two separate. I don't even look at them as anything equal, nothing at all. Like I think that what's interesting is that, you know, you can, you know, as somebody who if you're gay and you're black, then that's like double the amount of strikes. If you're a gay black woman, that's 3 strikes that you basically have, though, right? So but I think that the big thing, the reason why I look at the inclusion of African Americans and minorities in movies as something separately, while I do think that both of those should be normalized. I mean, hell, you got cities where the majority of the population is African American, right? Or Mexican Americans, and you know, you got Chinatowns and everything like that, right? So I understand completely that, but I guess I just always looked at, like, you can be, when you're a minority, you can be excluded solely off of how you look. And I think that's where I think they're different. But to be honest with you, though, bro, I think that one of the things that kind of opened my eyes a little more, but also opened my mind to. I've always felt that I've always been fairly accepting anyway, but I thought that I became more accepting when I got older. Right, when I moved to Atlanta. It wasn't until when I moved to Atlanta, then I started to really think back, right, about, you know what I'm saying, like, all right, well, you know what, man, like, I go back and forth with people when they say that, you know, people say, oh, somebody's lifestyle doesn't mean nothing, you know, that's the life they choose to live. And when I moved to Atlanta is when I finally have accepted that it's not a lifestyle for everybody. It's not a choice. Some people just are, because then I can go back and I can think, dang, you know what? I can go back to elementary school. And I remember seeing, you know, dudes that was in the cave that I was like, yo, he a little zesty for right now. Fast forward. They're very much gay. They were never molested. They were never had any of these things that people try to say. This is how they are. The same thing with some of the girls. Like, I've known girls my whole life who were, you know, they started out maybe more of the tomboy type, and now they are very much gay, stud gay. It's just, you saw it earlier on. But it took me moving to Atlanta to really see how much of a normal thing it is out here. You know what I'm saying? That that it just reminded me that it's been in front of me this whole time, right?
Well, for me, I grew up in predominantly black church, and so I was around it a lot. And like I said, it doesn't bother me because it has nothing to do with me. Like, I think a lot of times people think if somebody's gay, like that means that they want them. Like, no, it doesn't mean that.
I was like that. I'm not gonna lie. I was listen a little bit. I mean, when I first moved to Atlanta, that's what I thought. I was one of them dudes.
Man, I can tell you, like, that don't mean nothing at all. But it is interesting when you do, like, when somebody is and they do like try to let you know that they're interested in you. That is always weird too. But I mean,
I've never had that though. That part would be too awkward for me though, bro. Like, I would be like, I'm not gonna lie. Part of me would feel offended, bro.
Offended? Why?
Because here's my thing. Okay, I would almost feel offended because, for one, I don't think that I don't want to get us canceled.
You said
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. I'm not gonna get us canceled, but I'm gonna keep it 1,000.
We're just talking.
I don't want if I felt like somebody was trying to holler at me, right? I would in theory I hollered at my wife, right? That's my thing. So if somebody's trying to holler at me, I was like, listen, you looking at me like I'm a chick or something like that. It'd be different from a female hitting on you, right? A female hitting on you, that's your speed. But so if I'm the object of somebody's attraction, nah, bro, we not swinging. I would feel some kind of way about that.
What you would feel like? So the way that I feel that you're saying it, right? It feels like you're saying if they approach you, if they are gay, then they're getting some sort of vibe from you are.
Let me tell you this. Let me tell you. Okay, let me tell you. Let me tell you about the gayest story ever. All right. This is all facts. This was my learning experience. The gayest story ever. Right? So, and if I'm lying, hold me accountable because you know this, because I had you on speed dial. So I'm at a party. So my wife is she had a friend. He's at we're at his Christmas party, right? And he's gay.
Yeah, just
knowing
it.
He's cool. I got wild love for him. I got wild love from him because I know how much he loves my wife, right? Mad love for him. So we go to his party and they tell me that there are going to be other people from the job that's there. So I know some people from her job and everything like that. So it's like, it's cool. The one thing that is interesting though, is that when I met him, it kind of opened my eyes up a little bit more because prior to that, most of the gay guys I knew were very flamboyant, right? Most of the girls who I knew that were gay, they were like heavy, you know what I'm saying? Butch. But he was a little different. I was like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? Trip me on now. And we've had conversations and everything like that about how he did, in fact, in the past, used to be with chicks and everything or try, but it was like he knew his whole life that he was gay. And I respected that he told me that. But we're at his party, right? And I know that he is, he has a guy. I know that he's gay. So I'm thinking like, okay, sure. I'm in his area. There's gonna be some gay dudes there. It makes sense. But I'm there with my girl and I'm cool. That's not my scene. I'm straight. So we go there. Right? He says, yeah, I got food set up in the garage. Spot gonna be in the garage. Everything's cool. Whatever. So he's like, oh, cool. I'm go downstairs. And at the time, Neek is upstairs with him, helping him, with some food and everything like that. I go down in the basement. Right? And there's nothing but gay dudes out here. And when I say nothing but gay dudes, these is gay dudes where they're flamboyantly gay, right? Doc, I saw some dude who this boy had a turtleneck sweater on with a penguin tail, long, like he was supposed to be on the cake. and he had some red patent leather shoes on, bro. I mean, I'm talking about this is I like, listen, it is about 10 to 15 dudes, gay dudes there. So I slide to the corner, getting me something to eat, doing my thing. I'm not trying to make eye contact with anybody because I don't know. This is the young me, right? I don't want to give off that kind of vibe. And they didn't see me come in there with my girl, right? They just saw, oh, this is a single dude. He slides down. So I'm over here munching by myself. I'm looking through my phone. Now, mind you, this is when I had the BlackBerry, so I didn't have that much apps back then. Wasn't on Facebook at the time. So I'm texting my dude like, bruh, if somebody tried, I'm at the gayest party I've ever been to. If somebody hollered at me, I'm gonna need you to bail me out of jail tonight, right? So I'm sitting here like, yo, I'm eating and I'm trying not to even dance, right? Because these playing great music. I mean, music is phenomenal, bro. Phenomenal music, Ace. And I don't even want to dance. You know me, I'm sequence.
I'm about to say fresh off the sequence, bro.
Right, that's what we do. We dance, we regroup, and I don't even want to grow. I'm trying to sit here, and I got my little bop and everything like that, but I'm trying to stay to myself on purpose, and I'm waiting for my girl to come downstairs, like come, hurry up. And it seems like these minutes are taking hours, bro. I'm talking about I'm sitting here waiting, and every time the door opens, I'm thinking that she's going to be coming down. This is her. She is it. I'm relieved. No, that doesn't happen. One more gay dude comes out, right? And every 5 minutes, the door opens. 2 more, 3 more, 4 more. And I'm surrounded at this party. Now mind you, they're very respectful. They're doing their thing. And I'm there, right? They're comfortable. They're older, right? And the wild part happens is that when they start playing the good music, right? Then they start dancing, but then they're dancing with each other. And I'm just like looking at my watch and I'm texting her like, yo, when you coming down the stairs, right? And I'm just like, so one of the dudes, I'm sitting here, I swear to God, one of the dudes says, I'm at the table because I'm trying to get something to eat. He has a fruit platter, right? This dude says, them strawberries surely is good, ain't they? And I was just like, yeah, man, they straight, bro. And I just wanted to leave it at that, bro, because I didn't want, listen, when he did that and then called it strawberries, I was like, no. And he had this list. And me, I'm thinking like, no way is this gonna happen, bro. No way. And I'm still waiting. And mind you, I'm thinking that where are the other people from the job that I know? None of them are there. Apparently, they went to another party before this and come on down. So then I'm down here, and I've been here now for 30 minutes. And there's more gay guys coming in by the drove, right? They're packing it out and they doing their thing, right? And I'm looking around and I'm thinking like, that's when I realized this is and I don't want, I'm not completely, I don't want to be the guy that says, oh, I'm homophobic. So I'm cooling, right? So
but this was your first experience being.
This is my first experience that I'm just like, yo, they have the thing I can admire, right? Is they were having a good ass time. I mean, they were doing their thing. It was me. And they don't know that I'm just that I'm here with somebody still. By the time she comes down, right? It's like 30, 40 deep. It feels like it to me, right? They 40 deep in here. And he comes down. My dude was like, yo. And I'm sitting here like I'm grabbing her. This is who I'm with. This is who I'm with, right? And so what's crazy about that is that he says, yo, I'm not going to lie. I appreciate you taking one for the team on this one because I could understand if you wanted to roll out. This was a lot of, he says, This is a lot of gay ass shit right now. I said, oh my God. So then I'm having to dap him up. The strong dap. Oh, we good. I'm like, no. So when she comes there, bro, I'm all over. I'm telling my dog, I'm all over my wife. If we could have just had sex in front of all these people, I would have, just to let them know that this who they working with. I'm on this team over here. Finally, the other people from the job comes around. They come over. And one of them says, dang, you staying around for this? It's a whole bunch of gay dudes here. And I'm sitting here like, whoa. So then what's crazy about it is he tells me, though, he does say that some of the dudes like, yo, I was kind of going to ask you who was old dude, the new dude, right? Who's the new guy? And so, dog, I'm talking about I was hugged up on, you talking about, dog, you want to talk about somebody who was clingy that night? I was clinging, I was draped all over her, bro, like completely draped. And Ace, it was the gayest party, the gayest thing I've ever, but listen, but never, though, did I feel like, I never felt homophobic about it. Like I never
you just didn't want to have to break nobody's heart like that.
No, I didn't want to. But dog, the dude with the turtleneck sweater, the penguin tail, he was cold dancing, bro. I mean, he was out here heel toeing when they played the Jamaican stuff. He was getting it though, bro. Boy was moving. But listen, this boy was gliding. I mean, he was almost like he wasn't even touching the ground. It was beautiful, bro. And they was loving it. I mean, they was having a good time. So then I was just like, yo, the fact that I didn't like spaz out and everything like that. He was like, yo, I can appreciate if y'all want to roll out, y'all can, I understand or whatever. And I was just like, I'm good, especially now that she that came back down, I'm straight. So then fast forward though, man, even like, you know, maybe like a month later, I actually went on a double date with him and the dude that he was seeing at the time. And it didn't feel weird though, man. Like, you know, he wasn't going to ask me, yo, you know, what you think about him? You know what I'm saying? Or nothing like that. But I mean, it was dope. And he's still one of my favorite people. I mean, anytime he's in town now, she tries her best to try to get together. We try to invite him around and everything like that though, man. But he changed everything that I thought as somebody who was, I think I was maybe 24, 25 at the time, maybe. And so definitely. And it was a weird, I mean, it was the gayest thing literally that I've been around. But I think that I was grateful for the experience, though, man, because it just kind of opened my eyes up that they were older, you know what I'm saying? They were older gay guys. They were professionals, right? For the most part. And so it just kind of told me that that was their that was regular. That was they was out there living their best life before living their best life was a thing though, bro. And so after that though, man, it definitely everything else after that, bro, for me was mild, bro. Like I'm talking about anything less than that but I'm talking about it just felt like, bro, I was getting pranked, bro. I was waiting for the cameras to pop out, for them to tell me this was all a big, you know, Ashton Kutcher style punk, bro. It was crazy, bro. Absolutely
like
crazy.
you said, you were like 25, you're 40 now. So I mean,
25 then.
Yeah, and back then, you know, it probably was still a little uncomfortable, but I mean, you know, hey, that's why we grow. But yeah.
Yeah, very good. Listen, I think that's it. I'll tell you this, and this is the thing, and we can switch out, but I'll tell you this. I think the thing that trips me out the most, right, is that especially back in those days, right, and when in my mid-20s, I think that everybody was talking about Atlanta and down low dudes and everything like that. I think that the one thing that really opened my eyes is that this was far from that. These are guys who were completely open, are comfortable with themselves at this party. They've been, you know, they've known who they are, what they're about forever. I say all that to say this though, man. I still maintain to any guy who's single, that Atlanta is the place where you want to be, despite this perception that it's just flooded with gay dudes out here. It's the place that you'd want to be. The reason for that is even if that is indeed true, right? If you're a single guy, that means that this gay dude has taken himself out the game and he decided to take another dude with him. So listen, that's more of a scene for you. It creates a high demand if you're a single dude in Atlanta. And listen, all you have to do is be single and successful in Atlanta. Doesn't even matter about how you look that much. Doesn't matter this, that, and the other. It's enough that you're successful and single. High demand in Atlanta. And you should think that the fact that if it's a high population of gay in Atlanta, if that's not what you do and that's not your scene, this should be where you at because they decided to take themselves out the game, bro.
I get that. And, like I said, I think growing up all my life, it's kind of been, in my face. So it wasn't that big of a deal, but I totally get it. And yes, you were texting me during that party and all everything that you said is facts.
All right. I don't lie. Listen, bro. I said, listen, I can send you back about 1,500 if my bail, if something happens and I have to get bailed out, I can immediately hit you back with 1,500, bro.
Yeah.
10%.
Yeah.
Listen, though, man. But listen, the thing that I can appreciate though, bro, is that I absolutely can appreciate somebody who is openly gay. If that is their truth, you know what I'm saying, then I can respect that more than somebody who feels like they have to still be closeted. And it's not for everybody to come out and be that open. So I'm not gonna say that. But I think that to me, it's something to be said that you can be who you are on any scene. So that's how I feel personally about that. I hope we don't get canceled, by the way.
Well, my thing is that we don't come out and say whether we're straight or not. So I don't see the need for anybody to do, whatever. So it is what it is. But speaking of relationships though, bro, what's going on with Kim K?
So, this is kind of funny though, man. So I don't, it's amazing to me that I think that the Keeping Up with the Kardashians show has not gonna say it's canceled, but it hasn't been renewed for. If I'm not mistaken, it's supposed to eventually come back on, but through Netflix or something like that, some other avenue. But they've been on for years, so they have been in front of the camera forever. Some people's whole lifetime has been spent. They've been spent with seeing the Kardashians. Hold on, bro. You can comment to this, so it's good.
Well, some of them have been in front of the camera more than others.
Oh my gosh! Right. So on this last one of these last episodes, you see her, and I can appreciate that they were authentically them. So even while they're going through even while they were going through their divorce, you still start to see bits and pieces of kind of the crumbling, right? They didn't hide that part, right?
Of course not. It's good content.
It's good, very good content, right? She's very mindful. Like, what else would you be talking about with them, right? Because she haven't posted any nudes in a while, anyway, though, right?
Just bikini pics.
Just bikini pics so far, but nothing nude. I thought that those would come, right?
I didn't think so. I think as far as she's going for quite a long time, it's just bikini pics. Now I don't think she's going any further. I
saw her post a bikini pic with her grandmama, bro. I said, everybody can get these cakes, bro. Everybody.
I don't see her going any further than that because it's just like she's making it so regular for like.
Yes. Here's a question for you though, right? So she was basically kind of breaking down, right? Because she was basically it's weird. She was saying, yo, you know what? This is driving me crazy. But I also love him enough to know he should be with somebody who is going to stand by everything he do. And she's basically, I'm not that, at least now, I'm not the kind of person where you can go on some dumb stuff, right? And then I ride with it. So like when he was on that, when he said, yeah, sounds like that was a choice to me when it came to slavery and all these other things, she was like, yeah, I just can't rock with watching you feel so self-destructive, so volatile, right?
Well, I think part of it, I mean, a lot of it has to do because she has her own image to keep up. Mm-hmm. She can then take bullets for the stuff that he throws out there. because he goes on rants or just says what comes to his mind. Because Kanye is pretty bulletproof when it comes to the stuff that he does. I mean, if you think about it, for a celebrity who fully endorsed Trump, for a celebrity who said the things he said about slavery and about this and about that, and people still support him. So the thing is that she just feels like, look, with my brand and things I'm trying to do, I don't have time to be answering questions about what you have going on, especially when I hadn't even had a conversation and you just spouting off this stuff or whatever. And the whole family is having to our publishers are working overtime trying to shield us from answering questions about the stuff that you're doing. So I get it. It could be very, very traumatic.
Let me ask you this though, bro. With all of these breakups that have occurred during COVID, right? They were one that was victim, right? You had what's your boy? Quavo, Sweetie, they broke up. Now they were this year, but it was COVID still. Every outside wasn't all the way open. You had J-Lo, Chuck the Deuce to Alex Rodriguez. And you've had a lot of breakups, right? Who's left? Who is left that you say, you know what, man? I hope they stay together. I'm rooting for them. What celebrity couples are you rooting for?
I hope J and B stay down. You know what I'm saying? I like that. I like the whole power couple thing, and I want Barack and Michelle to stay down. I think Will and Jada, it's whatever.
Will and Jada, this whole entanglement, it kind of just I was a big Will and Jada fan, right? Yeah. And then it just kind of after that happened. And the big thing about it is after it became so public, right? If it was just one of those things that
Miss Jackson, wait, what is he talking about?
I don't know. It's Nelly. Not Nelly ain't with Janet Jackson, is he?
He gonna have to explain that one.
I didn't know that one though.
Yeah.
Listen, here's the thing. The reason I'm gonna say the reason why I'm not rooting as hard for Kevin Hart, I was rooting for Kevin Hart and his wife before there's the rumored infidelity. And didn't he actually get jammed up on that?
He got jammed up, but I'm still rooting for him.
I don't like that. I want to root for someone who has not. I'm not gonna lie. Jay-Z, I'm the hugest Jay-Z fan. And probably the only thing that I don't know if I'm a bigger Beyonce fan than I am a Jay-Z fan.
I'm waiting for this one.
It kind of soured my perspective of rooting for them. I'm glad that they're still together, right? But I got to be honest, I'm not rooting as hard as I'm rooting for Michelle and Brock, right? That right there is that pedestal couple.
But what I'm saying is, Jay got jammed up just like Kevin did, though.
I know that, and that's for the same reason. That's why I don't have him up. Oh, he's talking about Floyd's ex. I don't even know who that is. So
yeah,
she's not on my list. You know who's on you?
Who's the new couple I want to stay down? I want to see Lori Harvey and Michael B stay down.
You rooting for them, though, bro?
So y'all can leave her alone, bro. Man, I'm still rooting for Tiny and T.I. too, bro.
Listen, man, I'm gonna be honest. Couples that I am rooting for, I'm rooting hard. I'm a big Sierra and Russell Wilson. I'm rooting hard for them, bro.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah, I root hard for them. And the reason why I say that, because I'm sure there are couples, there are celebrities who have been with their spouses for years. Denzel and his wife been together for years. Samuel Jackson, Viola Davis, all these people who are celebrities have been with their couples for years, but their couples aren't necessarily the celebrity as well, though. So for Sierra and Russell to still be as high of a public figure as a couple, I root for them hard body, though, bro. I do root for Ludacris and his wife, though, bro.
Yeah, 100. Now we have been saying Denzel's name wrong this whole time, but it's a whole thing.
It ain't Denzel.
Yeah.
It's Denzel?
Yeah.
No. I've heard him say his name is Denzel. I've never heard him say his name is Denzel.
Yeah, he said he said that I think him and his dad have the same name, and it's Denzel or something like that, something to that effect. And so to break it up so that when she called the name, I think that's when she changed it to Denzel. So it's something he explained that I ain't gonna sit up here and quote it, but I'm telling you, yeah.
I never heard that Ludacris had a baby on his wife. I never heard that. But listen, I do root for LeBron and his wife just because they've been day one. I don't listen. I'm not gonna lie. I don't root for Lala and Melo like that because it feels like Melo. They should, but I think that I don't know. Is it me though, bro, or did Lala just look finer when she wasn't with Melo?
I just think we noticed her more, but no, I think she definitely did do the I'm finer without you.
Yeah. And then here's the thing. I used to want to root for Dwayne Wade and Gabrielle Union. But I think that I don't know, not take that. I'm gonna say I do root for them. And the reason why I think that that's different from Dwayne Wade having a side kid on Gabrielle Union is because that was when they weren't together. They broke up. They paused. He must have went out and raw dog something. And then, they came back. And I think that that's different. They weren't together. So I don't think that I don't consider that cheating on her, right?
I see you ain't saying nothing about Cardi.
Am I rooting for them? I like that they're together. So I guess I guess I am. I guess I am rooting for them. Yes, because they got. Listen, man. Listen. I don't know, right? And I'm gonna think about that though, right? When you 25 years old, 24 years old, and you are a popular millionaire, and everybody knows you, and I've never. You don't know what's being thrown in front of this boy Offset, right? So I'm just gonna assume that he felt, listen, at this moment, this was something that I could not turn down. He's so young that I'm not gonna penalize him. So I do still root for them. It's weird. You know who I root for, bro? I'm gonna tell you that the only couple that I think that I root for as hard, celebrity couples, right? I root for, so I said Barack Michelle, I said Sierra and Russell. But you know who I root for hard? I root for my boy Toby from the SWATs and his wife Fat, bro. I love them. The reason why I love them, right? You probably don't even know who I'm talking about. Oh my gosh. Let me tell you what's crazy though, Ace. What I love, the very first time I saw Toby from the SWATs. Toby, he's Nigerian from Houston, and I probably butcher his name. I actually asked my neighbor's kid how to pronounce his name, and it's I think it's Ngiwe. It's Toby something the Ngiwe. Okay, so the very first time I had ever seen him, he was doing a video, and it reminded me of everything that we wanted to do, right? He has one videographer who does all of his videos. He kind of coordinates his videos and do a little bit of dancing, right? And his girl, though, he's killing this flow. While Fat, his girl.
Bro, you talking about
Jesus?
Yes. That's Toby from the SWAT.
I see you added the second part. I just knew him as Toby. I didn't know
Toby. So listen, so Toby, though, what I love about that, right, about Toby is that, so that was the first time that I saw him, right, was when I saw him, I saw his wife in the video. She's been in every single video that he's ever done. And so to watch him become a bigger artist now, like he has that cult following that everybody really rock with him. But then now he has his girl who does features on his stuff. He has some kids with her now. And he says something though, man. He said in one of his raps, he says, if you want me for a show and I can't bring my wife and my kids, I ain't coming. And I said, Yo, it was cold. And then he said something in the song. He said in one of his songs, he said, somebody asked me what's up with me and Fat. I said, nah, I ain't pulling out. I said, yo, he dope, bro. But I love them as a couple because I've watched them grow together, though, bro. That's fire, though, man.
So last couple I was rooting for, and I don't know what the details are, but I was really rooting for Gary Owen and his wife, bro.
Oh, they got divorced. They filed for divorce recently.
I know she did file for divorce. So yeah, that's that. But to answer Brittany's question, can people come back stronger from a cheating scandal? 100%. 100%. The only way that's possible is they have to address why the cheating happened to begin with. So it's very, very much possible to come back from a cheating scandal, but you have to address the root of the problem.
So the root of the problem is, why did somebody cheat? That's what you're saying.
Right. Because I know a couple of people whose situation is great at home, no issues or whatever, but they may not be getting the frequency that they need. So, what are they supposed to do?
Let me specify this. Let me get some clarification. Not just people. Can people? Sure, it's possible. Is that something that you think that you can bounce back from?
I think that if you address what the actual issue is, then you can recover. Because if it's something, an easy fix, like, hey, I wasn't getting enough attention after
you.
I'm answering the question. I'm answering the question.
I can't. It's simple for me.
I know that, but that's the way you feel, though. That's the way you feel.
I can't. Let me tell you the reason why. I think for me, I look at it and I look at it in different ways, right? So let's just say they say that men can go out because they say men are more physical or whatever. It's about physical. Men can go out and they say can have sex with the woman and not necessarily see anything other than the physical attraction. I can, and maybe I'm sure females can do the exact same thing or whatever though, right? But I honestly feel like a guy could say with the straight face that when they say she didn't mean anything to me except for just that part, right? But I think that what makes it different for me is that when it comes to women, like it's one thing that you might feel a way for somebody, right? But to your point, right? If you're having an issue and you say it might be the frequency, right? And that might be the reason the guy might step out. He might feel like he ain't getting it enough. He ain't getting it the way he want, whatever, right? But then it's like for the female, it's like, okay, you felt this way about that person. So it did mean something to you. That person means something to you. And then to me, it would feel like, well, if I stepped out and I told you that I stepped out because I wasn't getting it enough, but then you also stepped out. So you mean to tell me that I'm sitting here at the crib and I done told you that I'm not getting it enough, and then you feel like, well, what you're gonna do is give it up to somebody else? Then to me, that's the reason why it's no coming. For me, I don't know how I would ever bounce back from that, bro.
I get that and I respect that, but here's my thing, right? It's one of those things that if you were part of the problem, then you have to address the things that you had in the decision for her to do that. So all I'm saying is that, is it possible? Yes, they can come back stronger. Is it going to be hard? Yes, it's going to be hard. But just like before, like those things don't happen overnight. So the recovery process doesn't happen overnight.
That's true.
And so the thing is that it just depends on where you are at in your relationship. Because if y'all are both done, okay, it's not going to make it. But if there's both a willingness to heal, to address it, and to fix it, then it's 100%. I know couples that have that are advocates now for people that have been in a a cheating relationship and are now mentors and coaches for other couples.
And I know as well. Yeah. You're absolutely right. Brittany Rowe, Killeen, Texas says otherwise.
You know, Brittany's a baby, so she.
Brittany Rowe, I can appreciate that. Killeen, Texas says otherwise.
Yeah,
I
and
think
Brittany, I better have an email too in my phone when I get off this podcast.
Oh, listen, I do think that this is my thing. I do agree with you that it is possible. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that it is. It's possible either way. Like the same way how I said, guys might just say, "Oh, it was just a physical thing." I would like to think, right, that females would think differently than to say, "Oh, you know what? Homeboy look fine. He about to get these cakes, even though you married." Just on the strength, if you be like, "Well, listen, man, my husband ain't been cranking out here all month long. I'm about to go ahead and give it to this fly dude." That's kind of that I can see that happening. That I know for sure that's been a clean thing, right? Homeboy slide out to the field, 45 days. He might be in Korea. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something that's a norm. But I'm looking outside of that. And I just think that, sure, I suppose it's possible though, man. I don't know, man.
It's possible, but I think but that's the thing though, right? Every situation is different. So it's not a cookie cutter. You can't say, nah, it never gonna work. Now that's not the case. It very well can be something that could actually help a relationship. As bad as that sounds, like, because
I see how that could help.
Right, because it's one of those things. If you've had an issue with explaining to your partner how you feel about something, and then something like that happens, that could be the spark that'd be like, okay, we need help. So I'm just saying, man, it's you just gotta figure out where you at within that relationship. So yeah.
I don't know, man. Interesting. I mean, very, very interesting. That topic when it comes to cheating, though, bro, it's one of those things where, as much as you would like to think that it's gray for some people, but more defined for others as well.
100%. Everybody knows their straw that breaks the camel's back.
Yeah.
Hey, whatever works for you. But
yeah.
Yo, man, speaking of being broke, what's up with
Is this your game? Huh?
What's going on with that, man?
Is this your game? Huh?
Because it seemed like Phoenix was like,
Finish him.
I don't you got to tell me about your boy LeBron, fool. What's going on?
Listen, bro.
Because you was the one talking about he was better than Jordan, so I need answers.
I didn't say that he's better than Jordan. I said that I can understand the argument for him being the GOAT.
Sound like I thought you remember you saying that. Now I think that he's better than Jordan now because of his accomplishments. That's what I thought. I remembered you.
No, pull the tapes. Listen, here's what I think. Okay. I don't think that if you thought LeBron was the GOAT before this, and if you were comparing it to Jordan, I don't think that this does anything to change what someone who already thought LeBron was the GOAT. It's not going to change what you think.
No, 100%. This doesn't change anything, any legacy. This doesn't change anything about the Lakers or about LeBron. It just wasn't his year. You know what I'm saying?
It was supposed to be their year, but so they had a very injury-riddled year because Anthony Davis, halfway through the season, he pretty much got hurt. And, he's had his few injuries. But listen, the minute that Anthony Davis, and I'm going to stand by this, the minute that Anthony Davis strained his vagina,
AKA street clothes.
AKA street clothes. The minute that boy strained that vagina, it was a wrap. And listen, and I'm getting tired of it, bro. Listen, I told you this time, man. I told you that people are on the clock, bro, because I'm tired of having listen, there is a set of NBA players that that I'm critical of, and I like to think that it's positively critically of them. I think that I'm about to just throw them all the way out the window and just start checking for new players, bro. Because the thing that I think is interesting, bro, is this. I love Dame Lillard, right? And I can't fault Dame Lillard for CJ McCollum just watching him, bro. Like I can't blame Dame Lillard because nobody else on this team wanted to show up. And this man is out here
100%.
giving his heart out. They just watching him. They watching him. He scored the 50-something, and everybody's like, come on, bro. Like I almost had a conversation with somebody that tried to tell me that this was early on, that they thought CJ McCollum was better than Jason Tatum. But this was like a two years ago conversation. And there's a couple of people who just kind of thought that CJ McCollum was better than a lot of number 2 players. And I'm thinking like, bro, but at the same time, while I can't necessarily fault Dame Lillard, I'm at a point where I'm done with checking for certain players as it relates to where I put them on that GOAT conversation and rings conversation, though, bro. I'm tired of checking for certain players, though, bro. Listen, if PG loses and if the Clippers lose, right, you'll never have to hear me say nothing else about Paul George, bro. You won't hear me say anything next.
You ain't saying nothing about Kawhi. See, that's what I'm talking about. You. This is what I'm talking about how you be doing stuff, right? You are the biggest one that be sitting up here talking about Paul George is the second string. So you never blame Robin for if the city goes down, you blame Batman. So I'm gonna need you to keep that same energy with Kawhi Leonard.
I'm gonna tell you the reason why. I'm gonna tell you the reason why. For starters, it means something to me that Kawhi has 3 rings. Right? That means something. He did that, right? Now, granted, when he first did that, he wasn't the best player on that team roster.
He was
but he did get the
finals
MVP.
He was Aquaman.
Was he Aquaman? He was like the Flash.
No, he might have been
one.
No, he might have been the Green Lantern, bro.
Maybe, but listen, he got the rings. He did do that. Even though he beat the Warriors and it was a Klay Thompson list team, he still did that. He still won it.
KD list too.
KD list as well, but they still won it. They put him on that team, and that team, him being on that team made the difference. So that's why Kawhi is separately. But the next tier of people.
But he chose to go to LA.
Kawhi chose to go.
Chose to go to LA, and he crowned himself the new king.
Crowned himself the king.
So I need you to keep that same energy on the person who is the Batman in your book.
No, it's different. You know, this is the reason why, the reason why it's different, bro. The reason why it's different because maybe I'm the fool. But I expected more. I expected this. Listen, I thought Paul George was gonna be the KD. Like I think Paul George is that good. Not KD. I thought he was gonna be the Kawhi. Like I thought that he was the Kawhi before the Kawhi, 2-way player, got all the moves, got all the skills. Right? That's my frustration.
Bro, we're not gonna go down this road because you keep saying that, and I keep saying just like LeBron needs people, so does PG.
I get that.
We're not going down that road. So
I get that.
But
PG
here's the
just
thing.
needs more, and he's too young. This is my point though. This is my point though. Ace. Let me ask you this: Do you think that if on that same Raptors team, right? That same Raptors team, if you replace Kawhi Leonard with Paul George, do you think they still win with the same circumstances? Do you think that the Raptors with PG in place of Kawhi Leonard, that they beat the Warriors, that they beat Philly, that they beat all those teams? Do you think they win those games?
With the same set of circumstances, like with the Wizards,
Warriors
going out the way that they did, then I because to me, I think that PG plays better than Kawhi at times.
No, so, that's not the question.
I'm answering your question. I said yes. That's the answer to your question.
You think so? You telling me
yes,
right? You think that with that same Raptors team,
mm-hmm.
You
That
put
you
Paul George on that team in place of Kawhi Leonard, that they still win the ring.
Yes.
And we ain't got nothing else to talk about then. You're right.
We don't never have nothing to talk about because that's what I'm saying.
I'm gonna keep it 1,000. Since we sit, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 here. I think you put Paul George on that same team, they might not get past the first round of the playoffs, and that's the difference.
Charlie, I know that's the way that you feel. You've said that for years, but what I'm saying is this is what I need you to hear, because you don't give Paul George the same respect that you do Kawhi, but yet and still you want to bring PG instead of Kawhi when Kawhi's supposed to be that dude. So that's what I'm talking about. You ain't doing nothing but help my point out.
Kawhi Leonard has built equity, bro. He's built equity.
Because he has equity, he's allowed to lose now. That's what you're saying.
Yes.
Like you said, we ain't got nothing to talk about.
Listen, the same reason why LeBron, it doesn't hurt his stock that he lost to the Suns, right? It doesn't. He got them rings. He did that. Kawhi, if they lose tonight and they're out, yeah, it looks bad. But Kawhi, he got stock though. PG don't.
No. The difference, Charles, is that the reason why it's not a blemish on LeBron's record is because his other star, because just like what Mark's saying a healthy Lakers wins the championship. But I agree. I don't agree. This Lakers team, listen, this is why. This is real quick. The reason why this Laker team doesn't go to the championship because their B cast or the bench players and the rest of the cast is not as good as they were last year. So no. And so then what?
Go ahead.
So then the reason why, so that's why I said LeBron gets a pass because his Robin was hurt, but PG is out here with Paul George. PG is out here with Kawhi. So if they lose to Dallas, both of them getting reamed.
I get what you're saying, but here's the thing. I guess what I'm talking about, stock. Brittany Rose is exactly where I'm at with this. And I'm not saying that it's right. I'm telling you where I'm at with it. Steph Curry losing this season, the season before that, like he got stock, right? He got MVP.
And because his Robin is hurt.
No, but listen, it didn't hurt. But no, not just that. It didn't hurt Steph Curry's stock, I think, when he lost to LeBron then. It didn't.
When they went 73-9, I took something off of him.
No. I get that. I understand what you're saying. You took it out. For me, I'm saying his equity that he built up, the stock was that, listen,
But eventually you don't hold it against Steph because Clay is not there. Their whole season, they've had a pretty much losing season. So if he would have somehow beat the Lakers in that buy-in game, or whatever the case may be, you're not taking anything from Steph because everybody's like, oh, just wait till next year. The Warriors are going to be back in it because Klay Thompson is going to be back. So what I'm saying is nobody realistically thought the Lakers was going to win yesterday because Anthony Davis was hurt.
Let me tell you the difference. Let me tell you where I stand on this. And this is where I think that we have our disagreement is based off of our differences in perspective. Mm-hmm. Case in point. I think that most people would agree that Steph Curry is the number one guy on the Warriors team, right? Mm-hmm. I think that the interesting thing is that while Klay Thompson is on there, to me, Klay Thompson, I don't look at Klay Thompson as the number two dude the way I look at Paul George. And the reason why I don't look at Klay Thompson like that is because he didn't have to hop. He didn't leave to go to somebody else when he could have. Right? He could have.
We're not having that conversation.
Listen, he could have left and went to somewhere else. And he didn't, right? I think that what I appreciate about Klay Thompson as a number two guy, right, is that Klay Thompson never he does what he does, right? I think that while Klay Thompson is a top 15 player, I think that there are levels, but I don't think that as great as Klay Thompson is, that he ever tries to come across like he's a top 3 player, right? Even though he's put up some astronomical numbers. I think that PG seems like maybe he think he is or whatever, and maybe he should be. But I just don't look at Klay Thompson and Paul George the same, bro. I don't, and they're both number twos. The difference is that Klay Thompson is an organic number 2. They built the system around him being a number 2. Paul George left to be the number 2 twice. It's different. It's different. I think if you put, listen, and if we're being honest, though, bro.
Charles, answer one question, bro. Does a number 2 or another star help win championships?
It does. It
okay.
does.
So again, if LeBron lost and his number 2 is hurt, then you understand why he didn't win, and it doesn't affect his stock. Klay Thompson being hurt and Steph didn't have him, his number 2 or his sidekick or his rib or whatever you want to call him not being there doesn't affect Steph's stock. But if Kawhi Leonard and Paul George lose tonight, them boys is gonna get it because they messed up last year. That's the only thing that I'm saying. So what are you talking about? We on different.
Here's where I'm saying. To me, last year, right? Last year, the Lakers with AD won it. If the Lakers with AD loses, yeah, I get that it's going to be a blemish on LeBron. Listen. If it looks bad that LeBron gets to a finals and lose. I get that. But LeBron has stock. He's a made man. I think that Anthony Davis, to me, I'm not going to say he looks any worse than LeBron, but then there's levels. To me, Anthony Davis is just like Paul George.
Charles. If LeBron and AD would have made it to the finals and lost, they would have lost their mind on LeBron because of the fact you handpicked this dude to be on your team. This is supposed to be your Pippen, and you couldn't get it done with him. If they would have got there and lost, they would have been tearing LeBron up.
I don't think so. And here's the thing. And the reason why I don't think so, is that I think that even then, I thought that people thought that after LeBron got that ring in Cleveland, I think people would have thought that it would be reasonable at LeBron's age, that after he got that ring in Cleveland, that if LeBron never won another championship, I think that most people would say, you know what, he did it. He's 36 years old. And LeBron not winning a ring at 36 years old, I think it's different from LeBron not winning it at 30 years old.
Last question, because we got to wrap up. Last question. So you mean to tell me if KD doesn't win the ring this year, that nobody's going to say nothing?
People will, but it's within – put like this, bro.
Because didn't you and I just say that KD needs this ring to take the thing off of that Warriors?
Listen, KD needs the ring, but my thing is this. This is what I'm saying. This is what I'm saying. And like I said, there's levels to it. I understand because I'm going to tell you to compare. Let me take a step back to talk about the LeBron to then talk about the KD. I do think that people in the GOAT conversation would have said, hey, you know what? This is another finals that LeBron had been to, like 11 finals that he'd been to, and he has a losing record in the finals. I get that he add to it, but you still can't take away from the fact that he's made, right? Anthony, if they would have lost last year, and Anthony Davis is a 6-time All-Star, all this, and he doesn't have a ring, you bring him over there, then to me, like I said, he is very much – he's a number 2 guy. So then I'm thinking like, all right, well, I got to judge you like number 2. So Paul George, you're number 2. You in that conversation now.
But
and
you
I
ain't judging him like a number 2. That's what I'm saying. You immediately, when we started talking about this, right? And we talked about the Clippers, you ain't say nothing about Kawhi. You went directly to the number 2. So if that's
the number 1 already has rings. I need to say, listen, the difference is though, Ace, is that I thought Paul George was going to be better than Kawhi. Like I might, bruh. Listen, but the KD thing. I think the reason why KD and them losing this time around, yeah, he's going to get jumped on. But I think that KD still has time. I honestly believe, bro.
Listen. In your logic, right? If Brooklyn loses, you know who's not going to get any blame? Kyrie. I think KD is getting all of it, bro. Because
Kyrie already got a ring. He got his without jumping.
I know that. Listen. So does KD. KD got a ring too. But the difference is just how KD got his ring, which is why people gonna jump on him.
Paul George did the same thing KD did, except Paul George didn't get a ring when he did it, bro. Stop playing.
What you talking about?
That's the difference. Paul George jumped teams. He didn't beat it. Granted, it makes Kevin Durant worse because Kevin Durant just joined the team that beat him. But Kevin Durant left to go join a team that he thought he could win a ring with. Paul George left to go win a team that he thought he could win a ring with two times and he lost, bro.
Not true. He asked Indiana to be traded. They traded him to the Oklahoma City Thunder. He asked to be traded. So he didn't select the team the way Kevin Durant did.
He did select the team.
What team did he select?
He selected Oklahoma when he re-signed with them. That means he wanted to be there.
Right. He re-signed because that's where he wanted to be after being traded there. So again, that's where he was traded to. He re-signed because that's where he wanted to be. And then Oklahoma City was trying to trade him.
Here's my point. If he ultimately wanted to get to California, he could have not signed with the Thunder and went to go to the Clippers then.
He very well could have. But then
you know the reason why he didn't go? Because he would have been the number one guy then.
No.
Yes, he would have been if he would have gone to the Clippers before Kawhi, he would have been the number one guy.
You ain't got to argue about this because you ain't gonna never believe Paul George when he tells you personally why he went to LA. You're not. So there's no point of us having that discussion because you don't believe people when they say stuff. So that it doesn't even matter. No. All I'm saying is if KD does not win without LeBron in the finals and whatever, like if somehow it ends up being like Phoenix or Denver or whatever against the Nets, if they can't beat Giannis and them, yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. Listen, now that I'm thinking about it, if KD and them doesn't win a ring, he is gonna look bad.
100%.
It's not that he's. I'm not gonna say he's not gonna look bad. My thing is, he has to be the one that looks the worst by default, right? Like by default,
James never got it.
James never had a ring. Right. Kyrie already got one, and so by default, KD has to be the one that's gonna go ahead and get the most blowback. But my thing, though, bro, is that I'd like to think that I'd like to think that KD still has some room in his career to get at least one more ring, right?
And I think that LeBron, though.
But LeBron clock is running. He only has 2 more years, bro.
Okay,
that man's gonna be 38 years old.
Yeah, everybody
slows down. He's slowing down now.
I'm not saying LeBron ain't slowing down, but he still has he can still get there is what I'm saying. I understand what you're saying, that KD has a better chance of getting there than LeBron does. All I'm saying is if KD does not win this year, for one, the team he chose to go to, for sitting out a whole year after injury, for selecting the teammates he wanted, having James Harden there, building his team, not going to a team, and LeBron's not on the other side of that, it's going take all the smoke off of LeBron and put it on KD.
Bruh, KD, KD is gonna look bad if KD, think about this, right? If KD then built a super team with three all-pro, first-team all-pro players. And if he loses, let's talk about the teams in the West. If he loses to Luka, who doesn't have another all-star player, it'll look like how LeBron them lost to Dirk, right? Dirk was the only on that team, the only current all-star player for that team, right? No super team. So if he loses, that's gonna look real bad if the Mavs get all the way there. If they lose to the Nuggets, and all the Nuggets have is Joker. They lost Jamal Murray and they still lose to them. It's going to look terrible. If they lose to the Clippers, and listen, the Clippers, who is letting Luka dog them out, I'm just imagining what KD can and will do to him. But if he don't, he's going to look terrible, bro. And then the Suns, if you get out here, and I tell you all the time, I think that young teams have to earn their lumps. But this is a young team. They just got one old dude running the show. And I think that it's enough to make a difference. But if they can't beat the Suns, bro, with KD and James Harden, and they're gonna look bad, bro. It
Yeah,
might go down as
we can agree on that.
it might go down as the worst big three of all time, bro. It's gonna look bad though, bro. But
it'll give us some great content though, brother.
I tell you, but listen, I'm gonna keep it 1,000 with you though, bro. If they don't win, James Harden goes higher on my list of people where I'm just like, I'm off at.
So he
then Paul George.
He gonna be your new Paul George.
Yes, he's gonna be it because you left. You said you couldn't hack it as the number one when you left. When you went and joined somebody else, that means that you couldn't stand the pressure. You to me are basically co-signing. You break it down all those years because you couldn't hack it. He's not going to say that, of course, but that's my logic. And so by you going, you've conceded to be the guy to win the ring.
Yeah.
So then if they don't win, KD is going to look the worst, but James Harden now goes to like Paul George. I'm off Paul George forever. I might if Paul George them lose tonight and they get put out, I think I'm just gonna be done with being a Paul George fan altogether, bro.
It don't sound like you're a Paul George fan now. So
I'm a fan of. Listen, I told you, I like Paul George's game more than any other player in the league. He loses that for me, though, bro.
Is this your game? Huh?
Well, look, man. Tuesday we need to talk about GM LeBron and who he's putting together for next year. That's what we talking about.
Get Kuzma out of there, LeBron. Get Kuzma out of there, man. Get him out of the community.
We're gonna talk about it Tuesday because there's a whole bunch.
Get Kuzma out of LA, bro. Get Schroeder out of LA, bro. I told you. I knew there was a reason I didn't like Schroeder like that, bro. I told you that, bro.
No, time out. See, Schroeder was great in the Oklahoma City Thunder. I'm not gonna let you besmirch my dude's name.
I told you that. I told you there was something I didn't like about Schroeder.
Anyway,
look, I didn't say that though. I'm consistent.
Shout out to Brittany Rowe. Shout out to the boy Mark Nurse, and Mark knows everybody.
Shout out to my man Jay.
Yeah, shout out to the boy Jay. Any and every person that made a comment that contributed to the show today, we thank you. We love you for rocking with us every Tuesday and every Friday. We are the Slash Brothers. And shout out to Annette. And shout out to everybody that participated. Anybody goes watch the after show, that watches on the playback. We appreciate that as well. We are the Slash Brothers. Y'all enjoy y'all's weekend and join us right here for another show on Tuesday. Yo, we out. Brittany Rose, sing that song.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time.
If you smell